Hey, welcome. Right now, all across India, there's this silent construction boom happening. And no, we're not talking about new cities or highways. We're talking about the massive, totally unseen factories that are going to power our entire digital future. So yeah, let's dive into this hidden world of India's data center boom.
Think about it. We do this every single day, right? We save photos, we send emails, stream movies. We pretty much live our lives in the cloud. But have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself, where is the cloud? Like, what does it physically look like? Well, it goes here, into buildings that look just like this. These are data centers. They are the physical, beating heart of the internet. It's not some fluffy white cloud up in the sky. It's a humming, high-tech warehouse, absolutely packed with servers.
Okay, so let's pull back that curtain. In this first part, we're going to find the cloud's real-world address and really see what these factories of the digital world are all about.
So, to put it simply, a data center is just a dedicated building that houses a company's most important apps and data. It's really just a massive network of computers and storage that delivers everything from your social media feed straight to your banking app.
Let's take a peek inside the machine, shall we? You can see all the key parts right here. At its core, you've got the server rooms, just crammed with computers. Now, to keep all that from overheating, you need massive cooling and air conditioning systems. And because these things can never turn off, you've got these huge backup generators and power supplies. It's literally a fortress for data.
All right, now this is where our story gets really interesting. We've got to talk about this huge, growing mismatch. You see, India is an absolute digital giant, but it's got a pretty serious storage problem.
Get this. With its enormous internet user base, India now generates a staggering 20% of all the data created in the entire world. That's 1/5 of every photo, every video, every message on the planet.
But here's the catch. Here's that mismatch. Despite creating all of that data, India only has about 5.5% of the world's data center capacity to actually store and process it. It's kind of like having a massive factory with a tiny little warehouse out back.
So how do we even measure this capacity gap? Well, this chart shows a really key metric, data density. The easiest way to think about it is efficiency. How much data you can pack in for every unit of power you use. And you can see India, at 14.5, is just less dense than a mature market like the US at 18.8. The takeaway is crystal clear. India has a massive, and I mean urgent need for more and more efficient capacity.
Which brings us to the big question, right? What lit the fuse on this whole explosion? Why is this massive construction boom happening right now?
A huge part of the answer is you and me. It's all of us. Just look at the growth in mobile data. This year alone, India is using over 22 exabytes of mobile data every single month. And by 2030, that's expected to more than double to almost 46. Every single video we watch, every app we use, it all demands more and more data center space.
But beyond just our own data habits, there are these really powerful forces at play. You've got the rising data consumption we just saw. You've got a government push for data localization, which basically means Indian data has to be stored in India, a booming startup scene creating new digital services, and of course, the real game changer, the absolutely massive computing needs of artificial intelligence.
And the result of all that demand? A capacity explosion. It's wild. In just 4 years, from 2020 to 2024, India's installed data center capacity has more than doubled, jumping from around 520 megawatts to over 1,350. So who's actually filling up all this new space? Well, as you can see, the biggest tenants by far are the hyperscalers. We're talking about the big cloud providers like AWS and Google Cloud. They're building the foundation that everyone else from startups to banks runs their businesses on. And right behind them, you've got the telecom and banking industries who also have just massive data needs.
All of this growth, as you can imagine, leads to an incredible financial story. This isn't just about technology. It's a full-on, modern-day digital gold rush. Billions and billions of dollars are just pouring in.
To meet the demand we've been talking about, an estimated 20 billion, that's billion with a B, US dollars in new capital is needed just for the buildings and infrastructure over the next 5 years. And that doesn't even count the servers that go inside them.
So why are investors so excited? Well, it's because the business model is just incredibly attractive. Yeah, it costs a lot to build, about $5.6 million per megawatt, but the returns are fantastic. A mature data center can generate these super steady profit margins of 40 to 50%, and they have long-term contracts that provide very predictable cash flow.
So you add all of that up, and the potential scale is it's mind-boggling. By 2030, the value of India's data center market alone could hit $100 billion.
But here's the thing. The ambition doesn't just stop at India's borders anymore. The goal is changing. It's evolving from simply solving a domestic shortage to actually positioning India as a data hub for the entire region.
And India has two major advantages on its side here. First up, cost. It is way cheaper to build data center capacity here than in established hubs like Singapore or Tokyo. And second, connectivity. The number of these massive undersea fiber optic cables landing on India's shores is just rapidly increasing, turning the country into this hyper-connected junction for all sorts of regional data traffic.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. As the analyst at JM Financial put it, this isn't just some vague possibility. India could, in fact, emerge as the preferred data hub for the entire region.
And there's one more ace up India's sleeve, AI. Now, while some AI needs unbelievably powerful and dense hardware, a lot of new, more efficient models are coming out, and these can run perfectly well on the exact type of lower-density data centers that India is building right now. This makes all of India's new capacity perfectly suited to be AI-ready, right from day one. Which leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. For decades, India has been known as the world's back office, its software developer. But now, as artificial intelligence begins to completely reshape our world, could India become the physical engine that actually powers it?